The shifting reason your faults hide every warning quake from you, and in Christchurch, New Zealand, 2011, a fault that rated low risk killed 185 people in 24 seconds. You never heard it coming. They didn't either. Nobody did. The fault wasn't dormant, it wasn't resting, it was loading. And it's been loading beneath you your entire life. Right now, beneath your feet, fault lines are moving, not dramatically, not in ways any surface sensor catches. Tiny slips. Micro-adjustments, stress accumulating in rock that behaves like memory foam, absorbing every push until it simply can't anymore. Here's what nobody tells you. The faults that kill the most people aren't the ones making noise. They're the ones that go decades without a single detectable tremor. Seismologists have a name for them, locked faults, and they don't run out of steam. They run out of patience. There are locked fault systems directly beneath major cities right now. One of them is beneath yours. Every earthquake you've ever felt, every minor shake, every rattling cabinet, those were releases, pressure escaping. The fault talking, those aren't the dangerous ones. The dangerous fault is the one that hasn't spoken in 300 years. In 1700, the Cascadia subduction zone ruptured along 1,000 kilometers of the Pacific Northwest coast. Magnitude 9. The tsunami crossed the Pacific and killed people in Japan before dawn. Japanese records documented it in precise detail. American records didn't exist yet. Nobody on this continent lived to write it down. The Cascadia hasn't moved since, not in any meaningful way. 326 years of silence, and the pressure hasn't stopped building. Plate tectonics doesn't pause. The Juan de Fuca plate is still grinding beneath the North American plate at 40 millimeters per year, every year, without a single major release. That's not relief, that's interest, compounding. Here's where it gets stranger. Scientists spent decades assuming locked faults were stable, that the locking itself was a sign of strength. They were wrong in the most lethal possible way. In 2011, the Tohoku earthquake off Japan came from a fault section that seismic models rated low risk, the same word they used in Christchurch. The locking mechanism that was supposed to hold it together. That's exactly what made the rupture catastrophic. When it finally let go, it didn't slip a few meters. It slipped 50 meters in under 3 minutes. 50 meters in 3 minutes. The fault didn't break despite being locked. It broke because it was locked. The silence wasn't safety. The silence was the threat signal nobody read. Now here's what's actually inside you, and this is the part they don't put in the press releases. Your nervous system and a locked fault operate on the same principle. Both store stress invisibly. Both have a threshold. Both give no external signal before the release becomes total. Seismologists call it the seismic cycle. The slow accumulation phase looks identical to the interseismic phase, the quiet between events. The problem is they're not the same. One is resting. One is loading. From the outside, from every instrument we have, they look exactly alike. Here's the number that should stop you cold. The USGS estimates a 60% probability of a magnitude 6.7 or greater earthquake striking the San Francisco Bay Area in the next 30 years. Not from the San Andreas, which everyone watches, from the Hayward Fault, which runs directly beneath 4 major cities, 14 BART stations, and 2.4 million people, which has been locked for 154 years, which last ruptured in 1868 before the cities above it existed. The residents of those cities have no memory of what the Hayward can do. The fault does. And here's the mechanism nobody fully understands yet. Fault locking isn't uniform. It shifts by depth, by mineral composition, by groundwater pressure. Some sections can unlock quietly, what's called slow slip, without any surface rupture at all. Those slow slips redistribute stress. Sometimes they push it toward a section that's even more locked. The quiet sections charge the dangerous ones, silently, invisibly, right now. Building codes assume a certain kind of earthquake, a rupture that unfolds along a known section of a known fault. Engineers designed for what's been measured. Nobody designed for the unmeasured, because by definition you can't. The Hayward Fault runs through soft bay sediment. Soft sediment amplifies seismic waves by a factor of 10. What registers as a 6 in the hills becomes a 7 on the bay floor. The Marina District in San Francisco learned this in 1989. It was built on rubble from the 1906 earthquake, essentially prestressed for collapse. 3 million people live in high amplification zones above locked fault systems in the United States alone. Most of them have never felt a major quake. Most of them believe that means they're safe. Geologists can now detect slow slip events in real time. GPS signals are millimeter precise. And right now, along sections of the Cascadia subduction zone, slow slip events are accelerating. The interval between them is compressing. In 2010, they occurred every 14 months. Recently, every 10. What that compression means, whether the fault is resetting or loading towards something, nobody knows. The last time Cascadia fully ruptured, nobody was listening. This time we are. We still don't know what we're hearing.